After coming back from a 3-year study trip abroad, my fiancé invited me to join her company. But only a few days after I started, her assistant showed up with a compensation agreement and told me to sign it. I frowned. What's this supposed to mean? The assistant gave me an impatient look. Shouldn't you take responsibility for the mess you caused? Thinking he must have confused me with someone else, I calmly explained, I just got here. I haven't even started working on any project. How could I have caused trouble already? When I didn't sign, he slammed the papers onto the table, crossed his arms, and stared at me with a smug face. When I tell you to sign, you sign. Why are you making things difficult? Not wanting to waste time arguing, I called my fiancé directly. To my surprise, she answered in an annoyed tone. Reed caused some trouble a couple of days ago. Just take the blame for him. I'm warning you, don't make things worse. He's the chairman's son. If you don't deal with this properly, both of us will be kicked out. When I heard that, I lifted my eyes to look at the proud man standing in front of me. How funny. Since when did my mother have such a son? I looked down at the compensation agreement. It claimed that because I had leaked core project data, the company had suffered huge losses, and I was willing to take full responsibility. What an impressive accusation. When I had just returned from abroad, Dahlia Larson had warmly invited me to join her company. With our wedding coming up, I took it as a chance to see her true character. So I agreed. I never expected that she only wanted me there to take the blame for Reed Payne. On the other end of the call, Dahlia must have noticed how harsh she sounded because her voice softened. Weston, I'm doing this for our future. Reed is the chairman's son. His record can't have any problems. But you're different. You're new here. It's only natural for you to bear a little loss, I interrupted her. Dahlia, I suggest you think carefully before deciding this. Before she could reply, I ended the call. Just then, Reed suddenly poured a cup of ice water over my head, and the freezing liquid ran through my hair and down my back, making me shiver. He looked at me with pure contempt. You? A graduate from some lousy foreign university. If it weren't for Dahlia, you'd still be picking trash off the street. Now the company asked you to make a small sacrifice and you start dragging your feet. I'm telling you, if you don't sign today, once the partners start asking questions and my mom finds out, no one will be able to save you. No one had ever spoken to me like that before, and somehow my MBA from Stanford had turned into a lousy degree in his mouth. Anger surged through me. I grabbed the cup of hot coffee beside me and without thinking twice, threw it straight at Reed's face. Ah! Reed screamed, clutching his face in pain. The office fell into chaos as everyone turned to stare at me. Whispers spread through the room. He's President Larson's fiancé who just came back from abroad. He's got guts! Offending young Master Reed the moment he arrives, he's out of his mind. It's over for him. He's finished for sure. If I hadn't known that my parents had always been close and had never spent more than a day apart, I might have actually suspected that Reed was my mother's illegitimate son. Until now. I hadn't really taken a good look at him, but when I did, there was something strangely familiar about his face. Reed wiped the coffee from his face with tissues, his hands shaking with anger. Weston Jensen, are you crazy? Do you even know what you just did? I looked at him coldly. Of course I know what I'm doing. I'm teaching a lesson to someone who made a mistake but still refuses to take responsibility. You even know who I am? Reed yelled. I gave a faint smile. I don't care who you are. To me, you're nothing. Just then, Dahlia walked in. When she saw Reed's messy appearance, her face instantly darkened. Ignoring me completely, she hurried over to him, holding his face with both hands. Her eyes filled with worry as she checked him over. Reed, are you all right? Does it hurt anywhere? That soft, gentle tone, she had never once spoken to me like that. Even when I had a fever, all she said was, drink more hot water. Reed looked up at her with tears in his eyes and said in a trembling voice, Dahlia, my face hurts so much. Did Weston really want to ruin my face? Then without warning, he buried himself in Dahlia's arms. Dahlia froze for a second, and to my disbelief, a flicker of happiness appeared on her face. She quickly reached out and hugged him tightly in return.